Hey y'all, happy Sunday. Today we had a wonderful time in the Lord today at church. Now we're home. It's time to sit back, relax, refresh to get ready for the week ahead. So my husband asked if we can have some beef tip ribs. I said, look, I can make some beef tip ribs. So I decided to do beef tip ribs, some collard greens, um, potato salad, and also he wanted a corn pudding, which actually is cornbread with some cream of corn in it. So let's get going. Okay, let's get started with the greens. In my pan that I have on the stove, I already have some oil and a stick of butter at the bottom of the pan. It's already melted. And what we're going to do now is add our chicken stock. I'm going to add some chicken stock to the water. I'm going to kind of gauge it. Usually sometimes it depends on if I'm cooking a huge pan or small. So I'm going to start with 1 cup of chicken stock, 1 container of chicken stock. And then I'm going to add a couple of drops of this liquid smoke because I'm not going to add any meat to this. I'm just going to do straight greens and cabbage mixed together. I'm going to use some liquid smoke. Sounds crazy, but this right here gives you the feeling that there's some smoked meat in your food. This is great if you say you forgot to get something at the market or you're just really trying to do something different. And right now we're trying to do something different. We're on this health journey trying to lose this weight and it's working. So I'm going to add my water and my liquid smoke to my pot. And you can add like about a tablespoon of your liquid smoke. When you're cooking your grains and you get to the point where you want to taste them to see if that's enough for you, you can always add a couple more drops. So we're going to add some liquid smoke. I just want a second opinion on the paint color that I chose for the house. Because when I showed her the watercolor, she loved it. Just need to see it in true daylight. And I'm also going to add some apple cider vinegar, which I forgot to grab. She loves certain shades of green. So I'm going to only start with 1 cup of apple cider vinegar because I can probably add more later. I don't season my greens until they've already cooked all the way down. I don't do anything until they cook down. So we're going to put a cap of apple cider vinegar in our pan. But then the more I think about it, I'm second guessing it. I'm torn between 3 different swatches, but I've only seen on page. And we're going to get this boiling, and when it starts a full roar in that pot, then we're going to add our cabbage and our collards. While we're waiting on our water to boil for our collards, I'm going to go ahead and start on my potato salad. I already went ahead and cut up some potatoes. I have them here, and I have my eggs. So we're going to go ahead and get the eggs boiled, and we're going to go ahead and boil our potatoes, okay? I also cut up some extra potatoes on the side. These are going to go into my collards, but I'm going to add them at the last moment. I don't want to put them now because they'll be mushy. So I'll add these at the last minute. So right now, let's go ahead and prepare this to get boiling. We'll start with our eggs. I'm going to carefully put these in here. Okay, we got our eggs boiling. Now we're going to prepare our potatoes. Oh, I need to slow down before I fall out in this kitchen. So we're going to add our potatoes. They've already been cleaned and rinsed and everything. So now I'm just going to add some water. And I'm going to add my favorite seasoning. My chicken bouillon, my powdered bouillon. And like I said, I usually put 2 tablespoons in my water. And it actually seasons the potatoes pretty nicely because you almost can take them out and just eat them by themselves. So we're going to get this boiling all as well. All right, so we got everything boiling. We have our ribs we'll be checking on in a minute. Those are pretty much done. I took them out of the crock pot earlier and put them in the oven. I always cook my meats in the crock pot first, but I finish everything off in the oven because I don't want it like wet. I want it to kind of have a little bit of texture on it. And I'm going to go ahead and prepare my sauce that I'm going to put on there. I did jerk seasoned beef ribs, and they are so good. And it smells amazing in this house right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and prepare my sauce. I'm gonna do it. I call it a sticky sauce, and pretty much it's your favorite barbecue sauce. I like to add hot sauce to it and honey. The honey is great because when it goes back in the oven, the honey makes it sticky. So it's got that. I don't know. You know the best part about eating is once you eat is. So I have my bowl here. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our. I love some Sweet Baby Ray's, but you can put any type of barbecue sauce that you love. But Sweet Baby Ray's is the all-time favorite in the Brandon house. Doesn't matter what flavor, but this one right here is just honey barbecue. I'm gonna fill up my container. Okay, that's just making just too many. All right, I'm gonna put the cap on and just turn it upside down for a little bit so we can get, because I want all of that to come out of there. We always keep barbecue sauce on deck. Okay, so technically all you need is just one full container of barbecue sauce. One container. I just opened up the second one because I can't wait for this to get all the way to the bottom. So I'm gonna move this aside. Because again, got to feed these Wolverines. They're hungry. So we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of honey. Not 3, 2. Okay. We're gonna add some hot sauce to the mixture. Depends on how much heat you like. We kind of like it kind of hot. And this is my favorite. This Louisiana Crystals. I love this hot sauce. It's got some fire on it. So I'm gonna shake some sauce in there. You can not pretty. There we go. About 1/3 of a cup. Okay. Now we're gonna add our crushed red pepper. Now go easy on these. If you can't handle the heat, you can omit it and don't even put it in there. But I'm just gonna shake some in there because we love it. You can put literally a tablespoon. Or if you're not into the heat factor, just do a half a teaspoon. Not a half, just put 1 teaspoon. A half don't do nothing but just make it look pretty. All right, so we're gonna stir this up. All right, we're gonna stir this up and we're gonna put it to the side because we don't need this now until our ribs come out of the oven. And they were coming off the bone when I was taking them out of the crock pot. But I put them in the oven to firm them up a little bit. So this is my sticky barbecue sauce. Not stinky, sticky. All right, I just want to add a little bit more honey to that. Now, when I made this a while ago, when my children were younger and they weren't really into the heat, I just put a sprinkle of red peppers in there just to make it look pretty. Didn't cause any heat issues, but now that we're older, we can handle it. We're good. Baby steps. Okay, now the water is roaring. It's time to add our greens and our cabbage. And you do it in steps. You fill it up as much as you can to as tall as you can, and it'll cook down. And when it cooks down, you just add more. But sometimes I don't feel like waiting, so I bought a big pot so I can just get as much and more in there. Because again, this is lunch for tomorrow as well. Uh-oh. All right. Okay, let's add our cabbage. Yeah. And your cabbage has a lot of water in it as well. So just don't go too overboard with the water. or your chicken stock. If any thing that I cook, if it needs water, I'll try to replace it with, you know, chicken stock if I can. Our potatoes are over there boiling up a little bit. Now, some things that you can add to your collards, you can add sausage, you can have smoked meat, whatever you, bacon, whatever you like to do. But again, we're just going to use some smoked liquid smoke instead. And then like tomorrow, or a couple days, if I still have some left, maybe for like we call it second day delights, I might cut up some beef sausage or something and put in there. And might just have just collards of beef sausages and rice. We get creative with our second day delights. It sounds better than saying leftovers. All right, so we're gonna let that cook down a little bit. We're gonna keep checking that periodically and stir it. Okay, while we're waiting on everything to finish up on the stove, I'm gonna go ahead and prep my veggies for my potato salad. All right, so what I have is a green pepper. Every step of your remodel. Call or visit rebath.com for your free in-home design consultation. Let me save it. Okay, let me rinse out these little seeds. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut these up. All right, put these in here real quick. And I'm not gonna make them too big because we kind of want them small. I am pleased by how I see things. So when I see things that look pretty, it makes me want to try it. But if I see huge pieces of veggies and huge pieces of this, I hope, Brandon, I might push away from it. But I'll try it because it just might be delicious. Here, we're going to put that in there. Yes, I know you like these more coastal colors. So finding that right balance of it's a little bit blue, it's a bit green. Oh my God, it looks so cozy. It looks so welcoming. My favorite thing is the piece that been built. I didn't build that. But I'm not going to cut them too big. Again, I like the color. It looks like it's always been there. Tons of landscaping. Right. It looks totally great. Any rock repair was done. A new light and ceiling fan was replaced. And that's enough. We're not going to use all of that pepper. So let's add some more color. We're going to add some nice little sweet peppers. I love red. I love all of them. I ain't going to pick one. But I can eat these raw just like candy. I love them. They're so sweet. I always put them in my salad. We're going to cut this up real small and just okay, let's put that in there. We got this nice and small. Let's put that in there. Let's do the second one. And again, I didn't go to culinary school. This is mom's school. This is the mom's kitchen. This is how I do things. I'm curious enough to look and investigate and see how to do it. And I kind of tweak it to what's easy for me. Okay, I'm going to put this in there. All right, it's almost time to take those potatoes out. And it's not like there's anything wrong with the seeds. I just don't feel like having them in my food. One or two that slip in by accident, that's okay. Okay, that's that. Let's throw those seeds out. I love the fact that my sink is right there. I don't like it at the end when I have to clean it all up, but hey, it is what it is. All right, so we're done with our peppers. And one more thing that I'm going to add in there is some celery, just for the crunch factor. And again, this is when I cook it this way. It's a habit now, but I cook this way to introduce different type of vegetables to my kids. But now it's just turned into this is just how we do it. And it's so funny. When I was a young girl, I used to like, pasta, and I thought that's all I'm gonna eat all the time. And I'm gonna marry someone that just likes pasta and nothing else. That's all I knew how to cook. Pasta and ramen noodles. Well, the Lord flipped that on me. He sent me a man that likes to eat some good hearty food. He want to be fed. So I had to learn. So I had to reach out, talk to my mom, my auntie, so I can learn how to make these things. And the more I practiced, the better I got out of it, and the happier my husband was, or is. But he was so sweet. He never said it. He didn't complain. He ate it. But then after a while, he started telling me, hey, can you try this? Can you try this? And I'm like, all right. And I did. And I'm glad because it got me ready for when I started having my children. All right, so we got our celery in there. And I'm cutting all this up, and I'm going to just judge my potatoes because I can't remember how many potatoes I put in there. So if I didn't have a lot of potatoes, I will not put all these in here. The good thing is I use these vegetables so much I can repeat it in another recipe. I'm going to add a few red onions. I have some already cut. As I said, when I cut something, I store it away because I might eat it on another meal. So let me rinse this off. Actually, let me use that. All right, we're going to cut up. I already have some cut up, but in my potato salad, I'm going to make them really small. And that's, again, a habit, keeping them nice and little. Because, again, not everyone is an onion fan. I like them. I love them, but I don't want to overdo it. So I got these nice and small. And it's time for me to check on those potatoes. So I'm going to put that in there. And what I'm going to do is mix this around. And when it's time to put my potato salad together, I'll just kind of take a cup and dump it. Because again, whatever's left over, I'll put in another meal. So let's stir that around. Because I use these a lot. You'll get to see that as well. Oop, there's one that didn't get cut, so let's take that out of there. I'm always finding them. One more. Okay, so then did that. Let's put that in here. Okay. Let's clean up our mess. Let me rinse off this because I'm going to have to use this again to cut up my eggs. All right. So we're done with the onions. We're done with our veggies. We have these here. All right, let's go check on our potatoes here. And I don't want them cooked too soft because, again, we don't want them to be mashed potatoes. So these, we're going to take one out. I should take one out. And I just kind of push on it a little bit. And that is ready. And I'm going to taste it because that's what I do. That's delicious. That is delicious. Okay. So let me get my colander ready. Okay. Got my mitts. Let's get these potatoes out this water. Okay. All right. Got them drained. I'm going to sit them in the fridge. I'm going to sit them in the fridge for just a little bit to kind of cool them. Well, actually, we got some time. I'm just going to let them air out, cool down a little bit. All right. Let's just let these cool off. Now, got to check on my eggs. And what I need to do is prepare an ice bath. I got some water in a container. Let me get some ice. This makes it easy to peel those suckers. All right, let's pull this off turn off our fire. And I can come back and stir those greens up because they are cooking up nice. Okay, we're gonna rinse those. I'm gonna put them in that ice bath. And no, I'm not sticking my hand in hot water. I put some I poured that water out. And I put some regular tap water. I'm not that crazy. Okay, we're gonna let these sit in this ice bath for a little bit. Now I'm gonna go over here and check on these greens. Ooh, those are cooking down nice. So now it's getting to the point where we can start adding our seasoning. I am gonna add some of these vegetables in there because I do like some color, but I'm gonna cut up some, actually no, I don't have to. I'm gonna put some of those in there, just a sprinkling of color. Gotta have some color. So what I'm gonna do now is go grab some seeds. I'm gonna put a little bit of sugar in the water, and I'm gonna put a stick of butter in the water, another stick of butter in the water. All right, let's lay this in here. Okay, and I'm just gonna go get some sugar. All right, I'm gonna add 1/4 cup of sugar. And now it's time to add our seasonings. I'm gonna go ahead and get our Brandon House blend. It's got everything in it again. It's got your Cajun seasoning, your garlic powder, your onion powder, paprika, pepper, salt, a little bit of sazon. Just a moment. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna put about 3 tablespoons in here because there's a lot of greens and a lot of water in there. We're gonna turn this on the other side. Lord help me, please don't let me pour this whole thing in there. No, I'm not gonna take no chances. There we go. All right, let's stir this around. And And I'm going to put one more cap of apple cider vinegar. Where did I put it? Oh, it's right here. All right. Okay, I'm glad I did that over that. There we go. And then that sugar that I put in there it does balance in it a little bit, so it's not bitter and it's not super sweet either. Okay, I'm gonna stir it one more time and I'm just gonna let it do what it do. I still got the got it on high. I'm gonna turn the flame down in just a little bit. I want my greens to be a little more tender. Okay, be right back. Let me go check on my ribs. Okay, time to look at those greens one more time real quick because they are roaring. Oh yeah. And then I just realized, oh, I need to add some minced garlic to that. I love my minced garlic, or better yet, my garlic. Let me add some in there. 2 tablespoons. I don't know, they just give everything just such an amazing flavor. They make that water taste so good. Not only the water, whatever in the water cooking with it. All right, so put this back in there. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and do our dressing for our potato salad. With me, I have issues with my hands sometimes, so I can't really turn the potatoes like I want to. So I make my dressing separate and then I toss the potatoes in it. Makes it easier for me and I'm not walking around with like numb fingertips. So give me just a moment. Let me get all my ingredients so we can get that taken care of, because the best mayonnaise to me in the whole wide world is Duke's. I love some Duke's mayonnaise. Okay, we are getting to the finish line. A couple more things to do and this dinner is going to be in our bellies. What I want to do, I know we're going to talk about doing our potato salad, but I want to go ahead and get my cornbread casserole in the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and mix that up real quick. It's a busy night. I don't have time to make everything from scratch. So I'm going to use my favorite cornbread for quick, fast, and a hurry fixes. If that makes sense, for something quick and fast. I love Jiffy's. This is the best for a quick fix. And today, everybody must have been using some Jiffy's because the only Jiffy they had available was the honey. I don't know. Let's try it. It can't hurt. It's going to be sweet. So anyway, we're going to use our honey, because usually sometimes I'll do the vegetarian one, but today I'm going to do the honey. All right. So let's get our bowl and let's get this mixed up so we can get in the oven. I do have my ribs I need to take out of the oven first, and I'm going to remove this pot from the stove. So I know that was a whole lot at one time, but it'll work. I'm going to get this out of here. Let me get my little mitts and let's get those ribs out of the oven. Because we're gonna sauce them up in just a little bit and put them in, but I'm not gonna do that till it's like almost ready to eat them, because I want them to be nice and sticky. Okay, let's get started. Okay, real quick, fast and easy, we're gonna start with our Jiffy. Lord, please let all this fit in this bowl. Let's open this up a little bit. Okay, we're gonna do 2 boxes, because again, the goal is whatever's left, that is lunch for tomorrow. Okay, let's add this in here. We're going to add 2 eggs. Two-thirds cup of milk. Let's stir that around a little bit. All right, because I do not need stuff flipping around all on the floor. Okay, so we got that there. And I'm so glad it all fit in this bowl. Because the bowl I need, I'm getting ready to use. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. About 1/3 cup, maybe not all of it, but just 1/3 cup. Hey, Terry. Hey. So I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. Don't think I'm going to add all of that. That might be a bit much. Matter of fact, I know it is. I am not adding 1/3 cup, so just do 2 tablespoons. Because this is going to go from dinner to, this is going to turn into a dessert. Garage door. All right, so now, and I like this with chili too. I don't know, I just really love bread pudding, cornbread pudding. All right, so I'm going to add 1 can of whole corn and then 1 can of cream corn, and that's it. One can of, and now 1 can of cream. You can eat this. This is perfect for chili day, and it is chili month, so it's coming soon. All right, so we got that all mixed up, nice and pretty. Put that down. Okay, so we're gonna get this in our pan and in the oven. Usually you put your oven on 400 degrees, and we're gonna follow the instructions on the box, which I just threw away, so I'm gonna have to eyeball it. So usually probably about 10-15 minutes. But then again, I look at it too, because we have so much liquid in here, it's gonna actually cook a little bit longer than the box. So you kind of have to eyeball it, put a toothpick in it or a fork just to kind of check to make sure it comes out clean. Almost pretty much like you're baking a cake. So the box instruction as far as the time it stays in the oven is gonna differ because of all the liquid we added in here. Okay, I'm gonna get this in the pan and then we're gonna get it in the oven. Okay, so I have 2 tablespoons of butter melted in my baking pan. You can spray it with Pam if you like. I love butter. So I'm gonna put this in here. And we're gonna pour this in here. And I left my little spatula. So we're gonna use this spoon. And this. All right, let me know, has anyone had bread pudding before? Okay, let's throw this away. Let's wash our hands again. All right, we're gonna get this in the oven. We're gonna get this in the oven and then we are going to make our potato salad, put that in the fridge for a little bit, and then go ahead and put our sauce on our ribs. So let's just get this in the oven. Let me turn that. It's already nice and hot and ready for me. Okay, I gotta eyeball it, so let me keep that light on in that oven. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this potato salad going. We got our bowl here. I just need to grab me a spatula. Okay, so we have we're gonna do, this is our dressing bowl. Let me grab my potatoes. Okay. I got my spatula. So let's get this started. We're gonna go ahead and do our dressing first. We're gonna add our Duke's mayonnaise. Gonna add some mustard. And actually, I need a little bit more mayonnaise. Let me add some more mayonnaise. And I got to be careful with mayonnaise. My husband he does not like mayonnaise, but he loves potato salad. Don't ask. We're not going to figure it out. It just is what it is. So we're going to add that. I'm going to add a tiny bit more mayonnaise, a little bit more. But I try to keep it nice and thick so it's not too, we'll call it mayonnaise-y, I guess. I don't know. Okay, we're going to add a little bit more mustard. We want this potato salad to be yellow. Add a little bit more. Okay, now I went ahead and I deshelled the egg and chopped it up. And my potato salad is pretty much like a deviled egg potato salad. I love eggs. So, got about 6 eggs in here. So I'm going to put that in here. That kind of thickens, that will thicken it up some so it's not so runny. Because I love a good deviled egg salad. But that's not what we're going to have. So we're going to get that all mixed up in here. And again, the reason why I do this separate is because my hands, it's easier for me to turn it this way. And we'll talk about that later. Okay, we're going to add our mixed vegetables. And again, no, we're not using all that we cooked. All right, I start out with a little bit at a time, and then I just kind of look at it, and if I like it like that, I'll stop. If I don't, I'll add more. But then again, like I said, I do this so that, you know, we're not like, oh, that's just way too much going on in that potato salad. We don't want it too busy. So we'll start here. I maybe do. This is 1/3 cup, by the way. So let's mix that up. Oh my God, this onion smells good. So when I mix it up, if I see more yellow than I do veggies, I might add a little bit more, and I kind of see them. There we go. And when I made this, when they were like, again, I used to try to hide the veggies. So by the time you're chewing on it, you don't realize what's in there for them to know, I don't like this and I don't like that. There we go. Now that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right, so now I'm going to add, okay, we're done with that. So now we can just put a top on this, and these veggies are good for another meal. I'm going to rinse this off. Okay, so as you can see, here we go. Now we need to add some flavor to this, because other than that, it's just a mushy thing of just mayonnaise. So we're going to add a little bit of flavor. So again, My little house blend. Like I said, instead of having me going ones and twos of different types, I put everything in one container. Like I said, I get these containers from Amazon and I fill them up with all my favorite spices that I use all the time. So this is considered like the house blend. This I use every single time. I do add on different things, but I don't use those all the time. So this is the go-to. So I'm going to add this to my potato salad. And about 2 tablespoons. And then what I do, I have my husband taste it because he considers himself the potato salad connoisseur. So before I say it's a done deal, I've always had him taste it. Him or my son, Terrence Jr. He's the next one. If they say it's good, it's a wrap. I stop. I'm going to add a little bit more, and then I'll taste it a little bit. Okay, one thing I need to add now is just a tiny bit of sugar. Let me add a tablespoon. Add a tablespoon. One tablespoon. Okay, let me go get me a little paper spoon. Okay, let me make sure this is good. Perfect. Oh, the onion gives it a little kick, a little fight. So now, oh, that's so good. So now we have our potato salad dressing done. So now we're going to add our potatoes, and it's a wrap. Okay, let's see if I can do this without spilling it on the floor. Okay, so now this is easier for me. So now it's all done. Everything's all mixed in. Okay, let me grab a fork. Let me taste this, make sure we're good. The chicken bouillon on the potatoes mixed in with this dressing, it is some kind of good. It's delicious. So now that is done. That's good. And what I'll do, let me add 1 little shake of garlic. Just a little bit. And it's got a little bit of spice in there too. Man, oh man. Okay. So now, while I do this, I need one more thing that I need to add. I almost forgot. Oh, goodness. Got to add my, wash my hands. I almost forgot the most important part is my cubes, my sweet cubes. I've always used relish, but my mom gave me a little hint. She says, try the sweet cubes. It's easy. It just tastes better. I'm like, okay. I don't ask questions. It's my mom. I don't ask questions. I said, she said tastes good, it's good. So I'm gonna do it. So let's add some of these cubes. We'll add 2 tablespoons. And we'll mix that in there. I can't believe I almost forgot. Now my husband would have definitely picked up on that. So here we go. All right, that is done. All right, y'all. Let's see. I'm gonna go take this back to Brother Brandon or whoever's walking in this door. Oh, hey. Come here. Try this. He was out in the garage working, y'all. Get out. All right. And no, he does not tell me everything is good. He will definitely tell me if I need to do something. That's the only way you're going to grow. But he says it with love. All right, so we got our potato salad done. All we got to do now is just put our sauce, wait on our cornbread, and sauce up our ribs. So we're going to sauce up our ribs right now. So let me put all this away so we can sauce up our ribs and get this dinner ready. Okay, I decided I wanted to do, I forgot to add my potatoes into my greens, and I'm going to do that right now. I also had some more vegetables, the peppers, the red and the yellow peppers. I want to add that too, kind of add a little bit of color because we already have green from the collards. Let's add some color from the peppers. And because the greens are longer, we have bigger cuts instead of the little small cubes that were going into the potato salad. So I'm just going to add those in here because they're not going to take long. And then I'm going to add those extra potatoes in there. Those greens are good and tender. So another 10 minutes, we're done. So let's let that cook a little bit longer. All right, I'm going to sauce those ribs. Just a moment. Now we can sauce those ribs. These ribs are so big, they look like something that they would eat on the Flintstones. My husband is going to be loving these. Now on these ribs, I did a jerk seasoning on them, so it's got a little bit of kick, not a lot. We don't like everything spicy, but lately we've started to like it more. So let's put our sauce on here. We got our sauce, and I'm gonna get a little ladle so I can just kind of pour it on there. I don't want to use this one, but whatever. I'm feeling kind of fancy. All right, so let's pour these on here. Hold on a second. My husband loves them saucy. So that is what I'm going to do, is make them saucy. Make these nice and saucy. Y'all probably wonder why I keep looking up. My husband's out there working in the garage. So he keeps coming in here. And I'm trying to get this food ready to feed my family. All right. Terry, I'm going to come in there and take a look and see what you did in just a second. All right. So what we're going to do, I need to check on my cornbread. But I want y'all to see these ribs. Now that's what I'm talking about. That looks good. So I'm going to cover them back up, and I'm not going to cover them up. I'm going to put them in open because I wanted to get kind of sticky. So I'm going to put these in the oven. Let me just check my cornbread first real quick. I'm going to go ahead and put this in real quick. Let this bake up in the oven a little bit, and it should be done about the same time as the cornbread. So let's get this in the oven. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this time to kind of clean up the kitchen a little bit, and then I will show you what we have in just a moment.